For the White House enters its final leg, US President Donald Trump has made some tall and, as usual, unproven claims about his recovery from COVID-19. After an absence of more than a week, Trump is eager to get back on the campaign trail and ahead of his plans to travel to the key battleground state of Florida on Monday. Trump has said that he has been tested totally negative for COVID-19, but without saying when he was tested in the first place. Earlier, Trump had claimed to have recovered completely from COVID-19 and was not presumed to be an infection risk for others. At least that is what the physician said. Now, without producing any evidence, these claims have been made by the Trump administration. Trump further said that he was now immune to the coronavirus. Listen in.
Yes, and not only that, it seems like I'm immune, so I can go way out of a basement, which I would have done anyway, and which I did, because you have to run a country. You have to get out of the basement, and it looks like I'm immune for, I don't know, maybe a long time, or maybe a short time. It could be a lifetime. Nobody really knows, but I'm immune. So the president is in very good shape. Been tested totally negative. I'm going to be out in Florida tomorrow working very hard because this is an election we have to win. This is the most important election of our lives. And whether it's evangelical, whether it's Christian evangelical, call it whatever you want, people of religion, this is the most important election of our lives. And we have to get out and we have to vote.
The comments from Donald Trump come a day after his physician said that the president was no longer infectious. He never really explicitly mentioned whether Trump had tested negative for COVID-19. The scientific evidence has been inconclusive as to how long people who have recovered from COVID-19 have antibodies and are protected from a second infection. Trump's claims drew a flag from Twitter for violating the social media platform's rules. Twitter flagged the Trump tweet for violating its rules about spreading misleading information related to the pandemic. And Trump's tweet read, "A total and complete sign off from White House doctors yesterday. That means I can't get it and can't give it. Very nice to know." The post was flagged by Twitter with a disclaimer that the tweet violated the Twitter rules about spreading misleading and potentially harmful information related to COVID-19, adding that it may be in the public's interest for the tweet to remain inaccessible. Now, the president's illness has put a focus on his handling of the coronavirus pandemic, which has infected nearly 7.9 million people in the United States and killed more than 214,000. But Trump's campaign for the November election is working to frame his COVID-19 illness as an electoral asset. Trump is trailing Democratic rival Joe Biden in opinion polls for now. Now, we are now being joined by Jagriti Dave live from Washington, D.C. for more details on the president's health. Thanks for joining us, Jagriti. Now, the U.S. president is making headlines yet again by claiming in a tweet that he is immune to coronavirus. We still don't know if he has in fact tested negative for the virus, and even Twitter has flagged his tweet as misleading. So tell us more about the president's health and also his plans to rally ahead of the election.
Yes, I mean, the president has already held gatherings outside the White House, which have caused some interest and some criticism from those who disagree with the president's approach. Now, as you mentioned, the White House physician said that the president has taken a test which shows that he's no longer considered a transmission risk, but he wouldn't say whether the president had tested negative for coronavirus. The CDC says that there's still research that needs to be done about reinfections. And so, the idea of immunity when it comes to COVID-19 is still something that is not known for certain. Much more evidence needs to be collected on this information. The CDC, the latest information there says there are no confirmed reports to date of a person being reinfected with COVID-19 within 3 months of initial infection. But the president clearly is raring to get back on that campaign trail. He has had about a week out of action. That's a week that his rival Joe Biden has had to go out campaigning, and so he's clearly raring to get back in front of his supporters, which is really the lifeblood of his campaign. And this comes as the latest polls show that Joe Biden, his lead ahead of President Donald Trump, is there. It's maintained and it's in double digits.
Right. Now, in other news, Dr. Anthony Fauci spoke out against a Trump campaign ad that took praise that he gave for the coronavirus task force out of context. Now, this was a rare pushback to Trump, and Fauci said that the GOP did not get his permission to use the clip. So tell us more about this.
Yeah, so this was a 30-second ad that the Trump campaign released last week after the president was released from Walter Reed Medical Center. And it's there to tout the president and his administration's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the problem is that Dr. Anthony Fauci says that he hadn't given his permission to appear in that ad and that his comments were taken out of context. And that he said that, he has never publicly endorsed a campaign at all, and that the comments that he made were talking broadly about the efforts by federal officials to combat the virus. The clip that they used in the ad was actually an interview that Dr. Anthony Fauci gave a few months ago, right. As he said in that statement to CNN, who first broke the story, that he was talking broadly about the coordinated efforts of bodies like the Coronavirus Task Force, of which he was a member, to tackle the coronavirus pandemic. The Trump campaign spokesperson responded saying that these are Dr. Fauci's actual words. They are accurate.
Right. Now, finally, Jagrati, President Donald Trump's re-election campaign and the White House are pushing for an in-person presidential debate after Trump declined last week to participate in a virtual format. So what is the update on the next presidential debate, and what is the Biden camp stand?
Well, the next presidential debate was due to happen on October the 15th, but that has been cancelled. That's confirmed by the Debate Commission because President Trump wouldn't agree to do a virtual debate. And so Joe Biden is going to be doing a town hall hosted by ABC News, a town hall style debate. So there's going to be voters asking him questions. There are reports that President Trump also might do a town hall debate, a rival town hall debate with another broadcaster. But that is yet to be confirmed, possibly because of the status of President Trump's health. They might, need clarifications such as, a confirmation that he has indeed tested negative for the coronavirus, which the White House physician did not reveal in that memo, or did not disclose in that memo that he issued on Saturday night, when he said that President Trump was at not a risk of transmission. The debate on the week after is still expected to continue, but again, we're not sure exactly the logistics and the format. It's still sort of moving parts up in the air, but all of this has happened so quickly ever since the president was tested positive for the coronavirus.
Right. All right, Jagrati, thank you so much for all your inputs, and thank you for joining us on this broadcast.